Hey, it's your friend Mike O'Neill. Afternoons, the new Mind 97.5.
And what's left of Mike Pesto after, Toy Drive, whirlwind tour of, Pacific Grove, Paso Robles. And, not again. Little worse for wear with the voice, but things are coming back slowly but surely. I asked for my voice back from Santa Claus, and I got a partial delivery.
You got half of it. Come on, Santa. What the?
I've been sucking on, what are these? Ricola.
Yeah, he's popping them like Tic Tacs, but
Yeah.
they're working. So
Yeah, Costco, you get the box of them, and there's 2 bags in each box. So
the 40-gallon size. Well, that's every size at Costco.
So how was Christmas for you?
Absolutely wonderful. Family, man, it was just great. We did a slightly different thing this year because it was a Stranger Things Christmas. Let me explain.
Okay.
We, very simply, normally we have everybody over and we exchange gifts at the house, all my kids and their guys. And we did that again, but most of them drove away at about 1 p.m. Christmas Day, heading down to spend the night to go to Disneyland the next day.
Oh.
So we were like, you mean Quiet House starting at 1 p.m.? Really? So we had dinner, the rerun, some pie, and streamed all the new Stranger Things and the quiet of our house, and it was awesome. We've watched them all now 4 times. Come on, New Year's. Let's do this. I think I know how it's going to end. I'm not going to say.
So, well, I want to say, let's just throw this out there right now. Spoilers will be talked about in this because we don't have Netflix right now. We're doing some cost-cutting things, so we decided to forego Netflix for a little while. My mom does have Netflix.
She's up to speed.
So when she came to visit a few weeks ago, we saw all the episodes that came out Thanksgiving. And since we were with her in the days after Christmas, we've seen everything as well. What's your impression?
Of what's going to happen?
What you've seen to this point, especially the second. Was it 3 episodes or 4?
There's 3. The 4th is coming.
So the 3 that came out on Christmas Day. And there's a reason why I'm asking specifically about episode 7.
Well, I wasn't surprised by any of it. I mean, come on. Will's admission, that was only about 3 years late. We've known forever about Will. But with regards to Callie showing up, Callie showing up, her sister, Elle's sister.
Yeah.
And
back from the original episodes. Yeah. Was it episode 3?
I guess I can't remember.
That was panned
the flashback to the original
by everyone, and everyone. Why? Well, if you assume the Duffer Brothers had an overall vision of all of this from the very beginning, this is the why. Sometimes you have episodes that drag, and you're not exactly sure why because they're setting up something that's going to happen down the road. You had to have that episode, that season, basically, of, okay, it was one episode in particular. I want to say it was the 3rd episode from, I forget now, where it got into that relationship, and she stumbled upon her in Minnesota, I think it was. So now we understand why, because, well, now here she is.
Well, and the other thing the Duffer Brothers like to do is, oh yeah, by the way, here's what this scene we've only just briefly talked about really looked like 3 episodes later. And I think we're going to see some more of that in the last episode. We're going to find out exactly what Collie's all about. I think there's something going on with her. That I'm going to tell you. I don't know what it is. I have no real information.
Okay, do you have speculation?
Well, they've already. I mean, Collie's already told Elle that they have to die when they blow it all to hell.
Which makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
Yes, but no fan wants to see her go. So there's going to have to be some kind of an end around.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's going to be one of those finales where everybody's really dissatisfied. I don't think anybody wants to see Elle die.
And I don't think she will. The spin that...
They're going to figure something out.
I didn't think of, I think my wife did, because my mom and my wife, as we were watching, I could hear the groans coming from their side of the couch when that started playing out, and Elle looking like she's buying into, yeah, it does make sense that we're going to have to sever this once Vecna's gone. The thinking in our household became, I bet she's working. Callie?
Callie or Collie? This is 10.
That 10 is actually working virtually with Vecna, 1. So
I believe there's something. I don't know if that's that specifically, but something's going on there. I like what. God, no, I can't think of his name. The male protagonist.
Oh, Hopper.
Yeah, I like what Hopper said. If she even blinks, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. Well, he says it 3 times.
And speaking of Hopper,
he doesn't trust her.
My prediction is, and I'm going to be disappointed if this doesn't happen, Hopper's going to die.
I think so too. And I don't like it.
And I do, because this has been going on how many years, and not a single original cast member has passed. I mean, I know it's not realistic. It's fantasy. I get all that. But sometimes people got to go. I mean, look at the Star Wars franchise. Look at any great franchise. There are some regulars that pass on. Luke died.
I would hate to see it be him, only from the standpoint that reunion scene when he came back from Russia and she walks in and there he is. That was one of the most touching scenes I've seen in a lot of any show or movie. That was, and that just seems like an integral relationship you don't want to see blow up, but we'll see.
But since it's the finale, this is it.
Doesn't matter.
They've announced that their talks are going on about a spinoff, which means that there will be. This has been a huge cash cow for Netflix, obviously. So if the Duffer Brothers want to continue on with something in this universe, great. But this is going to be an exclamation point on this particular saga. Now, whether the not the black hole, what is it?
The Abyss.
What they figured out that it was this year, which I didn't.
The Abyss is above.
Well, but what is it? It is.
I know what you're. I know what
the term. It's.
I know what it is. Give me a second. Come on, I watch Star Trek too. They have them there. Come on now. It's not a warp.
Wormhole.
Wormhole. There you go.
The wormhole
between the Abyss and the regular world and the Upside Down as one.
And I always wonder with things like that, again, did the Duffer Brothers know from the beginning this was going to be a wormhole? Or did they, you know what, if we think about it, they've only seen one end of the equation. What's up? Ooh, yeah. And so I've always wondered about things like that. So, but my thinking is, again, Hopper's done. I don't think there's any way Will is going to be offed the show. I think he's safe.
I think he's
safe.
He and Elle together are going to be integral in shutting this down.
Yeah, and I think something about their relationship, not the characters, but something about it is going to be what spins off into whatever the next incarnation of this universe is going to be.
Rather than being weaker than he thought he was, I believe he's going to find out that he was stronger than he ever imagined.
Possibly, yeah.
And it's going to be, and Elle, of course, is always nuts powerful. Him and Vecna are fairly equal.
Now, in the part of, I think it was episode 7, when he came out officially, it wasn't as impactful. Again, I think we all knew that moment was coming.
It was a little long for me, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, there's a long part which we will get to in just a moment. But what was more impactful was last season when he drew that work of art for Mike.
Yeah.
And meant to give it to him, and then didn't. And then there's one scene in particular where I actually got tears in my eyes when he was in the van. I think Argyle was driving the VW bus.
Yeah.
And you could just tell he was battling this even then, but just didn't have words for it. And finally put those words to it, and it's almost like when you hear a song in a foreign language and you hear how emotional it is, and then you actually look at the actual words and like, oh, that's that's nowhere near as impactful. It meant more to me when I didn't understand the words.
But I think he was wrestling with the fact that he was understanding who he was and where he was headed, but also understanding that if he just unleashed it on his friend, it would have damaged the friendship to some degree. The fact that it took him as long as it did and that he did it the way he did it, nobody was weirded out. Everybody got it, and everybody's moving forward. If he tried to date his friend or tell him that he was attracted, that might have been too weird for the friend.
Now, what's going to happen?
I mean, this is 1980, blah, blah, blah.
In the final episode, there has to be a conversation between Will and Mike.
And
Just the two of them.
But that's going to be fine now.
But that. So there's a semicolon there because
he's had Robin as a buffer.
So, but having that conversation, because in fact, it would have been, I think, a little bit more impactful if they cut to Mike, and he seemed very accepting of the news that came out.
Yeah.
If he I almost wish he had been a little bit more uncomfortable with it, like maybe even gotten up and left the room. Talk about it. Then you've got everything that's going on with the Abyss and with Vecna, and now you've got this emotional side as well that we need some resolution here. I don't feel we need the resolution, but it would be helpful to me if they have that scene where it's just the two of them. It's a quiet moment, 5-minute conversation, and just talk things out a little bit.
Hey, we're friends forever, D&D forever, brother.
Yeah.
When's the next campaign? I get it. In fact, I think that scene would have been just as good in its own way if all of them had just said together, really?
I was waiting for the
sarcastically.
collective, duh.
Yeah,
It's like, we kind of knew.
If there'd have been that's what I mean. If there'd have been a sarcastic, really? And then smiles and then hugs.
Maybe
and
there
then
was
on to the next scene.
Just too much build up for it. I'm
was long.
guessing.
It was long.
And well, the part that was long, and I've already seen memes about this, is when, and again, I keep forgetting the names. The girl who was in the coma, who wasn't actually in a coma.
Oh, that's Max.
Max, and she was in Vecna's mind with Holly. When they finally get to the part where they can finally jump back into wherever their bodies happen to be,
Yep.
and they have what seemed like an hour-long conversation just talking about absolutely nothing nothing that important in that moment.
Yeah.
Go!
Yeah, it was ironic. It was
to your body.
It was ironic because on the one hand they were saying it's going to disappear. It's going to disappear. But oh hey, how about shut up?
Hey, what's your favorite color? I think we should bond a little bit more
No.
before we go our separate ways.
It was okay. It was okay.
Oh
but yeah,
no, we were.
It was funny.
We actively were as a family. Go already! You know,
Yeah.
We even to the point we said, how funny would it be if they decided to do a Freaky Friday and they jumped into each other's bodies?
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
It just took so long, and I couldn't even tell you what they were talking about. But whatever it wasn't that important to keep the plot line moving along. You've got to where you need to go. Go there already.
I think I know how 8's going to start. I think
Okay.
because it starts where it ends. It ended with Vecna getting all the kids.
Yeah, that's right, at the dinner table.
And then it fades. Well, I believe Holly and Derek
Okay.
are going to screw it up for him and piece out of the wherever they're at
So
thing.
somehow be able to snap out of it.
Yeah, and once they do that, they'll weaken Vecna. And once they weaken him, he's in trouble. So that's going to be the beginning of... I think we all know he's going to lose somehow.
Well, yeah.
But I think that's going to be the beginning of the loss. Those two, because Derek was uncomfortable when Holly went, Derek! And I could tell he responded to her, yeah, I think, okay, yeah, that's just, yeah, you're probably right.
Uh-huh.
But Derek's a jackass. I think
dipshit, if you will.
really wanted to say something I'm not going to say on the podcast that he said 3 or 4 times.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to find a way. That'll be the beginning of the unfurling of Vecna. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. For whatever it's worth, that episode 7
Yeah.
on IMDb fan rated the worst episode in the history of Netflix's Stranger Things, going back to even the ones where they talked about 10. So that was that up until this point, that had been the least liked episode. Now it's this one. The whole episode wasn't bad. It was just, again, the Will conversation, which could have been a lot more impactful if it was just written a little better and there had been some different reactions from his friends. If at least Mike had walked out of the room. Now you've got some tension in that regard leading up to the final episode. And again, just what are we sitting here talking about when we've got bodies to jump into?
To which the Duffer Brothers say on the most watched show in the history of Netflix, I think they're good with it.